Hello again, book lovers. Tom Holland's In the Shadow of the Sword, The Battle for Global Empire and the End of the Ancient World, which Simon Sebag Montefiore says is a brilliant tour de force of revisionist scholarship and thrilling storytelling. And I agree, I'm a Tom Holland fan. I'm going to put this book straight on my Tom Holland rereads, along with Persian Fire and Rubicon, because they're absolutely packed with information and a history which goes rollicking along throughout the pages, in this case almost 500 of them. And despite the title of the book, the real subject of this is the origins of Islam, which is what I wanted to know about, so hurrah! On page 4 we read, the collapse of the kingdom of the Himyarites in AD 525 is not, it is fair to say, one of the more celebrated episodes of ancient history. No, it isn't, and I didn't know about the Hephthalites attacking the Persian Empire from the north, or as it's known in the book, the Iran Shah. And again, that's a subject I knew very little about, but now know something about, thanks to this book. Why are we starting off there? Well, because that's a huge area of ancient history, A, from where Islam arose, and B, that was subject to various empires over the passing ages. So the book deals with that, the expansion of the empires, the collapsing of the empires, the fringes of the empire and the contacts with Rome on one side, and wilder enemies further east. If you have an idea already of the Sassanid and Abbasid empires, you'll be in a great position to follow the comings and goings of this history, which finally focuses on Medina, Mecca, and the mysterious places from which Islam arose. Or did it? Was it Mecca that the Quran was talking about? Well, we're going to follow all the isnads, or links, back through Islamic scholarship, and we find that there are a lot of dark areas. The chain is not linked solidly to the past. On page 214, far from Islam having been born in the full light of history, its birth was shrouded in what has appeared to an increasing number of scholars an almost impenetrable darkness. And that's the darkness we're trying to penetrate. If you're interested in this story, you'll love the book, because Tom Holland's a great writer and packs as much information as possible into the book. Having finished the book, I then turned to some reviews. On the Amazon review page we find 11 highly positive comments. Obviously they're trying to sell the book, but it is not unusual to find negative reviews here. The general qualification is 4.3 out of 5. That will do for me. That seems reasonable. But what happens when we go to Wikipedia? Well, reception, favourable, 2 short paragraphs. Mixed, 2 medium-length paragraphs. Negative, 3 large and 1 short paragraph. Who's written the negatives? Have a guess. There's a Guardian reporter and 2 Muslims. Sometimes I don't know what to think of Wikipedia. I'm guessing some Muslims won't like this book because it's challenging to their supposedly authoritative scripts. Some Christians have the same reaction when people go poking around in Christian archaeology, for example. But I just wanted to know what happened, and basically this book tells you, and it tells you the bits where we don't know what happened as well. In fact, the title of the introductory chapter is Known Unknowns. And that's kind of the tone that we take through the book. We pick out the truth, find it where we can, and where it isn't, we put a question mark. Let me give my picky criticisms. 1, there's a lot about the Sunnah, which would then develop into the Sunni sect of Islam. But we don't learn a lot about the difference between that and the Shia. And my other terribly nitpicking point is that when talking about the Persian Empire, it took me a while to realise that Ahura-Mazda, spelt quite weirdly, was the same as Ahura Mazda, which transliteration I happen to be more familiar with. He could have pointed that out. This Tom Holland fan hasn't loved every Tom Holland book he's read, but he did love this one.